On this episode of Tiger Vision, we take a walk through one of the most unconventional art collections in the city, set the stage to see the outside life of an NNHS staff member, and look into a non-profit that grows local food for the greater Boston community. These stories and more on this episode of Tiger Vision.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of Tiger Vision. My name is Michael Bickford.
And I'm Andressa Silva. With each episode, we strive to bring you the best stories from around our area that will spark interest in the Newton North community.
First, Erick goes to a museum that is known for showing off particularly bad art.
Art. It's a very common medium to those who are good enough to express their message. But I'm not here to talk to you today about Monet or Van Gogh or the Mona Lisa. I'm here to talk to you about the Everyman and his painting, He Was a Friend of Mine. Not So Seeing Eye Dog. Super Chicken. How Much Is That Cow in the Window? And Woman Riding Crustacean. And this is the Everymans Museum. This is the Museum of Bad Art. Located in the basement of the Somerville Theater is an exhibit full of various works challenging the idea of art itself. In order to find out more, I visited MOBA's second gallery to meet Louise Seiko, executive director for the museum.
Can you talk a little more to why the museum was created and what's the reason for housing all this art?
Sure. The museum was created out of a private collection my brother had. Friends of his kept giving him art that would never make it by traditional standards. And a group of us were having a conversation about this bad art. And we realized that if you're walking with a group of people past a gallery and somebody says, wow, look at that, until you turn around, you don't know if it's very good or very bad. But either way, there is this need to share it, people want to talk about it, and no one was doing it. And we decided this was something we could do, is to celebrate bad art.
It's not terrible. I mean, it's not worth $1 million, but I'd buy it. The better dog than I could draw. Is it really bad art? I just don't know. As I continue to look around, I notice more pieces that to me didn't seem like bad art. This prompts me to ask the question, what is the criteria for bad art?
The most important thing actually is that it's art.
Mm-hmm.
That's art is in our name too. To us, that means it needs to be original and it needs to be sincere. If somebody sets out to make something bad, it's never interesting because there's no sincerity, there's no heart and soul in it. So it's got to be real art.
Mm-hmm.
Then something must have gone wrong in a way that is compelling, a way that just makes you want to look at it. One of our many slogans is art too bad to be ignored. We've been doing this since 1994, and we're happy with the way we're doing it. We operate on a budget of almost zero. There's no paid staff. Nobody gets any salary. We don't charge admission. So we accept donations and we sell some books and t-shirts and things, and that's enough to pay our few bills we do have.
Seeing as the Museum of Bad Art is so unique, I asked Louise what she feels the museum does for the art community.
Part of what we think we've done is make people admit that even when they consider a piece of work, my curator doesn't like us to use the word bad, but even when they consider it not fine art, we can still love the works. We can enjoy them for what they are. We sort of give young people the right, the license to have their own opinions and to disagree with the museum. They can come to our place and say, I don't think that's bad, and whatever reason. So then when they go to the more serious museum, they're going to be a little more willing to express their own ideas and maybe disagree with the museum curators, and that's valuable too.
The Museum of Bad Art is not only a home for peculiar paintings, but a symbol for artistic expression and rebellion. Maybe you finally have a place to submit your unreleased works, or you want to explore this hidden world of artistry. Stop by the Museum of Bad Art, and you might learn more than you think. Signing off for NNTV, this is Eric Liu.
Thanks, Eric. Check out the Museum of Bad Art the next time you're looking for a fun but unusual experience.
Next, our very own Teddy Everett investigates the Food Project, a local nonprofit that revitalizes communities in the greater Boston area and helps them grow.
As many parts of Boston are becoming more developed, especially in the Seaport District and South Boston, local history and the natural landscape are steadily being replaced. However, organizations such as the Food Project aim to preserve and bring back a little bit of green and a different sort of growth into the community. Specifically, the Food Project has worked with the Dudley Street Initiative and the community of Roxbury to operate the Dudley Greenhouse. I talked to Ruth Ann Bandy, who works for the Food Project, and spends a good deal of time working in the greenhouse.
Dudley Greenhouse is owned by Dudley Street Neighborhood Initiative, but it's managed by the Food Project, and that's to serve the community and its growing efforts. So all of these beds back here are maintained by community members, and those community members wanted to have a financial contribution to the greenhouse that they get to grow in. So it started in that way. So I'm actually on co-op with the Food Project, so I'm a student at Northeastern, but I'm working here and I help with a lot of different things. I work in the greenhouse, I also work on the farms, I help with some administrative stuff, and I work at farmers markets as well.
So this is something that we weed out on the farm, but it's been genetically modified. Yeah, it's a great plant to eat. So.
But operating the greenhouse is only a small part of the Food Project's mission. Their main goal is to promote social change.
It's a nonprofit organization whose mission is to bring together youth, adults across the divides of race, class, gender, those sorts of things, and that's through the shared work of farming. And so the three main things are food, youth, and community. So we're obviously growing food here in the greenhouse on farms and distributing that. We run workshops on social justice. And then we also support the community by building raised bed gardens.
Hopefully, the Food Project can continue to work with the people of Boston to preserve historic neighborhoods and cultivate strong communities.
You guys grow these?
We did grow these in Lincoln. These were grown in hothouses.
Thanks, Teddy. Find out more about the Food Project at thefoodproject.org and get some additional information.
Next up, we take a look into the personal lives of one of our very own school counselors. Will Marsh brings us the story.
Attend the tale of Sweeney Todd. His skin was pale and his eye was odd. And they're probably laughing at me hearing that outside. Hi, I'm Matthew Ford, and I am a school counselor at Newton North High School. I'm from a big family, so I think I'm the 11th of 13 children, and nobody else in my family did theater. I just really liked being on stage, so whether it was dance or a chorus performance or a play or a musical, I just figured that's what I was going to do with my life, except the big slap of reality that college is where you're headed, but you have to pay for it. I had to rethink what I was going to college for. After a time, I thought, I don't want to watch other people do it. I want to do it. I want to do it again. And I realized, holy shit, 25 years just went by. It was pretty awesome to not have done it for so long, wonder if I had any talent at all, and then get back into it and be told, yeah, you're not bad. So I kind of like people to know that I have a life outside of, I love what I do here, but I also love other aspects of my life, so I don't feel the need to keep them separate. A huge part of my outside life is performing, because that's like my therapy. Singing is a huge thing for me. Pretending to be other people in ways that are maybe part of my character, but I don't get to exercise very frequently, is very cathartic and healthy. And Sweeney Todd is a show that I love Stephen Sondheim as a composer. I think his music is phenomenal. It's so intuitive to me, and it's so intricate and it's so interesting and layered. And I really like dark storylines. And I kind of like the opposite side of being a counselor, which is like supporting and nurturing. Everybody's got a dark side, and I just think it's fun to exercise that. I did say on my form that I would take ensemble if offered, and I got offered ensemble because I am not a diva, and it's been awesome. This is probably the most talented vocal ensemble I've ever worked with, and they just blow me away. The curtain goes up at 8, so our call is 6:30. I will do a yoga stretch, and then I will put on my costume, and then I'll put on my makeup. 7:30, we're all up in the dance studio to do vocal warm-ups, and then we're called to places. And I get excited. It's nerves, but it's not nerves like, what if I forget my lyrics? I just got a tingle of excitement thinking about it. I would love to see more students come see the shows that I'm in. I would love to share that with the people that I'm developing relationships with here. I think it would be a fun thing to share. So yeah, that's all I would add.
Awesome. Thanks, Will, and we look forward to seeing Mr. Ford's future productions.
Next, Nicolas Quintana gives us a closer look at one of our school's most popular summer programs, the Prague Trip.
But I think that Prague Summer is an experience where you take what you learn in the classroom and then you literally go see it or go do it.
My name is Linda Fries, and the last name is spelled F-R-I-E-S, like fries. We start out in Krakow, Poland. It's a small medieval city.
My favorite part of it was just the Old Town Square. You get in there that first night, and everybody's really tired from the plane and everything. And then you just it's a normal city, and then you walk into the Old Town Square, and it's like being back hundreds of years. It's so cool. My experience in Krakow was, I don't know, it was interesting because even just, going into a grocery store is just such a cool new experience. Because, seeing all the different stuff they have, trying to figure out how to pay, use money. We visited the salt mines, which were really cool. It was a really cool experience. You can actually lick the walls in the salt mines. I think I remember licking the walls a few hundred times at least, kept count of that.
And then we go on to Prague, which is a larger city.
We went to a Gothic cathedral, which I remember really well because it was beautiful and you could see it in the distance. And then actually going in there and seeing the architecture was so cool because, fun fact, my favorite churches are Gothic cathedrals. Yes, those are the best. So that was really awesome. And also just exploring Main Square and just being able to discover things on your own was really cool and not having a specific agenda. I also remember the really red roofs. When we went up in the tower and looking at the view of the whole city, that was the coolest thing ever. Just to be able to see all of it. Oh, I love that. I want to go back and see it every day. If I could, I would do that.
And then from there, we travel to Dresden. We're there overnight.
I think one of our teachers described it as the Disneyland of Germany. Way back when, Dresden was completely firebombed and completely destroyed, and then they started rebuilding it. So everything looks old, but it's contrastingly really, really new. Our hotel was kind of situated right in the middle of this really nice shopping plaza. So of course there was really good food. A lot of people bought stuff. Everyone goes shopping on the trip. You can't ignore it. You can either get novelties from each country or you can get a lot of food. We got to go to the Volkswagen factory, which was awesome. We got to sit in some really nice cars and do some really cool simulations.
And we also go to Berlin. So we end the trip in East Berlin.
Berlin was definitely my favorite city. It's new. Everything's new. It's like the European New York. My favorite food place there, my favorite food on the trip, was the doner kebab. There's actually a nice poster here. Oh, there's a lot of Turkish immigrants in Berlin and in Germany, and they have amazing food. probably the best food I've ever had in my life, to be honest. We saw the Berlin Wall. They took it down, but there's still pieces of it up. We went to a great museum. You know, you can look at a textbook and you can look online, you can see images of it, but it's really different to like be there and see the history and feel the history flowing through your veins, and it's just such a cool feeling.
Safety is our #1 priority on the trip. Obviously, we take it really seriously and understand that parents are investing a lot of trust in us and the trip. So we like to give kids time on their own, or in small groups, at least never alone, but in groups of 2 or 3 students. We like them to have the feeling of exploring the cities that we're in, but we never let them off on their own for more than 1.5 to 2 hours. So, you know, if they experience any trouble, it won't be long until we see them, and they certainly always know how to contact us. Students can apply for financial aid through the GELF program. They can receive up to, depending on their application, up to 70% of the cost of the trip can be paid for by GELF in a scholarship. And then in addition to that, we're always willing to work with parents to figure out, you know, what's the best way that we can make sure that the financial concerns aren't getting in the way of their students' ability to go on the trip.
I think that might actually be the easiest question. Hell yes.
I really encourage anyone to go on it if they can. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, really.
If you can go, go. You know, it's just something I don't know, it's just such a fabulous opportunity the kids in Newton have.
If you're interested in history, even if you're not interested in history, if you're just interested in going somewhere that's not the United States, you should go on the Prague Trip.
It was, I don't know how to describe it. It's an indescribable moment when you're just with people that you like in a city that's beautiful, reliving history. It's just amazing.
Thanks, Nick. Talk to Mr. Drake or Mr. Cho if you want to get more information on this summer's trip.
Next up, we take a look into the annual community fundraiser through the fun and cool sport of ice hockey. Caitlin Agnew reports.
On October 25th and 26th, the Keefe Pot was held to raise money for the Keefe Foundation for ALS. The tournament is named after Kevin Keefe, who passed away from ALS in 2004. I spoke with Mike Lozier, who runs the event, about Kevin Keefe.
Kevin Keefe was a Waltham husband, father, hockey coach, all-around great guy who passed away young, too soon from ALS. A tournament that we host to keep that memory alive.
I spoke to some other participants in the tournament about why they came.
I'm a long-time Waltham youth hockey coach. I actually knew Kevin well. I just went out there playing the tribute to him.
Being a hockey coach myself for Waltham Youth Hockey, just meant something to me to participate. He was a coach for a long time in Waltham, and it's home.
For them, coming out here and playing hockey for ALS means a lot.
It's all about the camaraderie. Just having a good time with a bunch of friends, that's all.
Any day we get to play hockey is a good day, but to do it, to raise money for a charitable event is huge. I just hope it goes on for a long time. I'd like to see it grow, and hopefully I can help do that.
We hope to see many more hockey players down at the Keefe Pot next year to support this cause. For NNTV, my name is Caitlin Agnew, signing off.
Wearing his number. Most of these guys here probably weren't even born when he was.
Thanks, Caitlin. Watch out for the Keefe Pot next year.
Lastly, after our team's first victory this season, Reid takes a look at what our school is doing to help come out victorious during our annual high school quiz show.
And this year's high school quiz show champion is Lexington High School. 705 points. The runner-up, Newton North High School, with a very impressive 405 points.
This is High School Quiz Show. High School Quiz Show is, as its name suggests, a televised trivia quiz show for high schoolers. Last year, Newton North's team came second in the state. This year, they've got their eye on first.
Of the 4 years up till now, every year we've either made it to the final round or the semifinal round. So we've performed well, and I think we have a shot at being as successful or more so than we have in the past. Mr. Cho and I, who is the other advisor, we basically put the team together at the beginning of the year, and then we work with them throughout the year to get them ready. We have a set of twins for the first time, so Max and Rose Tesler are both seniors on the team. Eli Gavish is the third senior on the team, and then Jacob Kingsley is a junior who made the team.
Yeah, this is my first year on the team. So I'd say our hope as a team is to make the finals this year and to win them. Obviously, that's a lofty goal.
Having, have made it to the championship twice now in the last 4 years and never won the championship, so obviously everybody would love to win the championship. WGBH does a really nice job of working with the schools, and Billy Costa is sort of a character and sort of fun as the host, and you can tell that he actually really enjoys being around the kids as well, which is nice. I would say that what people maybe don't realize is it's a lot of fun to go to a taping. And we have, usually big turnout, but we could always use more fans there. And so I would encourage people to, once we make the announcement about, where to sign up, it would be great to have more students and faculty and families come and see us tape the show.
Newton North's first competition is this Sunday, January 21st, where they'll face off against South High from Worcester. If you're interested in attending the taping, go to tinyurl.com/NNHS to sign up and get more information. I hope to see you there. For NNTV, I'm Ian Reid.
Thanks, Ian. And look out for future tapings to cheer on our team.
Well, stories everywhere, and they need to be told. If you have a story idea, contact us at newtonnorthtv@gmail.com and hit us up with any story ideas or feedback. We'd love to hear from you. You can also hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter.
That wraps up this edition of Tiger Vision. We hope to see you in a few weeks.